Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Born from Sin. I'm your host, Danielle. First of all, I just wanted to apologize about last week. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of a health scare that threw me for a loop. So I ended up taking the week off because I wasn't able to record anything because I was in bed all week, unfortunately. So last week, I was sitting on my couch and I was going through my Facebook like I do every morning, and everything seemed to be okay. And probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, out of nowhere, I started getting this very uncomfortable pain in my lower left back. And as I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, I kind of feel like I have to go to the bathroom. So I got up and went to the bathroom. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use the washroom, and the pain became so intense. I literally stood up from sitting on the toilet and grabbed my back, crying because I was just, the pain was excruciating. Like, it was insane how bad it was. I ended up making my way from the bathroom back to the couch, thinking that, maybe if I just sit down and relax, I'll be okay. And I wasn't even able to sit without it literally making me stand right back up because the pain was just so intense. So I grabbed my phone and decided that I was going to go to my room and just lay down, and hopefully stretching out was going to, alleviate some of this pain for me. But yeah, no, that didn't happen either. Lay there for about a minute or two. The pain just kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point where I literally grabbed my phone and messaged my husband at work and said, listen, I'm stuck in bed. I'm in an extreme amount of pain. I need you to come home immediately. We may have to call 911 or go to the hospital. So he messages me back right away. Yeah, I'm on my way. And he left work. Takes him about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to get home, depending on traffic. And because it was like mid-afternoon, the traffic wasn't too bad. So I just laid there, and as I was laying there, the pain just got worse and worse and worse. It was like my lower left back, and it was the only place that hurt. Everything else was fine. There was no pain in my stomach or my chest or nothing. Just this immediate, like, it felt like electricity almost being run through my kidney area. Like, it was brutal. And as I was laying there, the pain is intensifying, intensifying. I could hear my husband pulling into the driveway. And I don't know where I got sick. And as he was unlocking the door, I was literally throwing up and choking on my own vomit. So he comes rushing into the room, sees me puking and choking, flips me onto my side, which just happened to be my sore side. It was a day, let me tell you. So anyways, he finally clears my mouth and I'm no longer choking. He calls 911, and as he's on the phone, back on my back, and the pain is just intensifying. I'm at like a 10 while he's talking. I'm crying and crying. And then all of a sudden he hangs up with them. We're waiting for the ambulance to show up. About 5 minutes passes, and as they pull into the driveway, I feel sick to my stomach again. Got sick a little bit more. Thankfully, I was on my side this time, didn't choke. And after that, they came in and they did all my, like, my blood pressure and, all my vitals. They went and checked my blood sugar because diabetes runs in our family, and again, it's a concern of mine for my health issues. And thankfully, everything was normal. My temperature was normal, my blood pressure was normal, my sugar levels were normal, my heart rate was normal, everything was normal. And slowly, the pain went from like a 10 down to like a 7. Then as I was laying there, they're talking to me and we're talking about, the possibility of going to the hospital. They asked me a few more questions, like had I maybe slept the wrong way, or maybe had I, picked something up too heavy and injured myself, which I didn't. So we had ruled all that out. They asked about indigestion, trying to, thinking maybe gallbladder, not that. Ended up being kidney stones. And let me tell you, it was friggin' brutal. I have never experienced that before. And Lord help me, I hope never to experience that ever friggin' again because it was brutal. So they gave me a shot of Tramadol, and a few minutes goes by, and they're still talking to me. We're debating about the whole hospital thing. And I was just like, my pain has literally gone from like a 10 to a 7 when you guys got here down to like a 4. It seems like after throwing up that second time, my pain lessened even more. And I really didn't want to get off my bed and hop onto a stretcher and then go sit in a waiting room at the hospital forever. I just wanted to lay there in my bed, just be comfortable. So they ended up, leaving information with my husband in case something happened that I decided later on that I needed to go to the hospital. And away they went. So I wasn't able to go back into the living room to sit down whatsoever. And then laying down was starting to get a little uncomfortable for me. So thank goodness we have a Craftmatic bed and we put it in zero gravity mode and we just kind of chilled out with the dogs and the cats and watched Netflix and just took it easy because I just wasn't too sure what was gonna happen next. So I just kind of laid there, and I'm horrible when it comes to pain. I do not deal with it well. I do not heal well whatsoever. Um, when I had my second child, I ended up having a cesarean. My child was born in May, and 5 months later, in September, I still had a nurse coming in packing my wound from my cesarean. So I don't heal very well. So I don't like getting sick. I try to avoid it as much as possible. And for some reason or another, I was always under the assumption that people that got kidney stones were people that had diabetes. And the reason I thought that is because everybody that I knew that ever had kidney stones were also diabetic. So to me, my mind just went, oh, to have kidney stones, you have to be diabetic. Well, guess what? You don't have to be diabetic to get kidney stones. Surprise, surprise. It actually comes from, eating too much junk food and fatty foods and stuff like that. And we have been doing a lot of takeout fast foods and stuffing my face with chocolate bars. And I have a serious chocolate addiction. Um, it's nothing for me to ask my husband to bring home one of those big king size dairy milk bars. They're about yay big. They're called like family size. They last maybe 5 minutes because I'm that addicted to chocolate. It's horrible. And let me tell you, we had chocolate sitting on our counter the day that I ended up having this attack, and I have not touched a freaking chocolate bar since then because it scared the living crap out of me. So we're chilling out, watching Netflix, and because I gotten sick now, I am hungry. It's a couple hours later, and my stomach's starting to growl, but I'm very nervous about eating because I don't know what's going to happen. Stores are all closed at this point in time. Didn't really have access to getting like a bowl of soup, and I didn't have cans of soup here to make, so the hubby couldn't make them. So, anyways, I sent the hubby ends up going over to Subway, gets himself a big sub, and gets me a 6-inch tuna on white with just a little bit of lettuce and a little bit of mayo. brings that home, and I start eating this up because I'm freaking starving at this point in time. My belly is completely empty and I'm freaking hungry, but I'm also extremely nervous because I don't know what's gonna happen, right? So I start eating the sub, eat a little bit more, eat a little bit more until the point that I literally devoured the whole thing. It was all gone. About an hour goes by and I'm like, all right, well, maybe whatever it was with the kidney stone, it's passed, or because I've been able to use the washroom since then. And hopefully, we can, go to sleep tonight and this will be dealt with. Get out of bed, take the dogs out for one last pee, have our smoke, come back inside, put the bed down, and crawl into bed. Laying there maybe a minute, and I don't know where, here comes this pain again. And it lifted me right out of bed. I was standing, like crouched over, grabbing my back. My husband jumped out of bed. He's trying to help me. And I'm just like, I'm frustrated at how much pain I'm in. There's nothing he can do. I'm like, okay, we got to go to the hospital. He starts gathering my stuff. I'm like, but before we go, I have to go to the bathroom. Head into the bathroom. And then I'm like, can you please empty this garbage can because I feel like I'm going to throw up again. So he empties the garbage can for me, brings it back to me, and I'm like, Kate, shut the door. He shuts the door, and I got sick again. And then after I got sick, I sat there for a few seconds. I was able to use the washroom. I heard a little ting in the toilet. I'm assuming that I passed the kidney stone, and the pain was instantly gone. Like it never happened. Craziest thing ever. But let me tell you, I never, 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 ever, ever want to experience that ever again. My best friend, Chantal, passed away a few years ago. Um, and all her life, for as long as I've known her, she's had kidney stones. She's always, always had kidney stones. And she was diabetic. So again, my assumption of being diabetic and having kidney stones, you know what I mean, comes from that because she had kidney stones pretty much her entire life and was diabetic pretty much her entire life as well. So, um, and hers got so bad that she ended up in the hospital a few weeks before she passed away, and they were going to end up having to do surgery to remove her kidney stones. And the doctors literally said after she passed away, the doctors literally told her husband that she probably wouldn't have made it out of the surgery because her kidneys were that bad because of kidney stones. So it was a scary, scary lesson. I'm very glad that it's said and done. It really kicked my butt to get back in gear and start cooking at home and stop being freaking lazy and stop devouring a king size chocolate bar because it's absolutely not necessary. And it's really put a reality check in for me because, as you all know, we have been waiting for a little while now for circumstances to change for my husband, and they have officially changed. So I'm very excited um, to be telling you today that my husband on Monday finally was able to give notice at the job that he's at. And it's nothing against the company. He loves everybody that he works with. The company treats him very, very well. But my husband has always been a go getter. And the more he can thrive, the better he feels about his day's work, the day that he has put in. He's always been like that ever since I met him. Um, and unfortunately, the job that he was at, although the company was good to him, the employees were great, the customers were great, he kind of felt like he was at a dead end. And an old friend approached him one day and said, "Hey, listen, I have this opportunity." Now, when we first moved out to New Brunswick, my husband, went from one job to another. He kept steady employment the entire time, but always looking for something to better himself at. And the few years in, he ended up getting in with an epoxy company. And they do epoxy flooring and garages and stuff like that. And it was something brand new for him. Never done it before, so he was, very excited to learn a new skill, and that he did. He became one of the best representatives that they had in the company, one of the best installers. And unfortunately, because of politics within the company, um, my husband started to be treated less equally, and it was very uncalled for. And he decided that it was time for him to move on. So he found another job. He ended up with this rush check company, which is where he currently is working now. And throughout the year that he was there, again, he loved it, loved his job, but got approached by got approached by a friend and was offered a position that he just really could not refuse. So on Monday, my husband gave his notice to Rush Check. He actually gave them 3 weeks instead of just two. His last day there will be April the 17th. The week of April the 20th, he has taken that time off so that we can get some yard work done and get some stuff done around here before he starts his brand new job. My husband's been offered the manager position here in New Brunswick for the company Top Coat Epoxy, and he starts that on April the 27th. He gets his own truck, he gets his own trailer. Like, he is so stoked about this. This opportunity was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Had it not been for the progress that he is going to make in this new job, he probably would have stayed where he was at with Rush Check for a little while longer until, but this opportunity literally just fell onto his lap, and there was no way that he was going to turn it down. Like, he would have been crazy to turn this opportunity down. So he is going to be back on the road. He's going to be traveling all of New Brunswick, which is fantastic. They've already got lots of marketing going on, so there's a lot of jobs that are becoming available already in New Brunswick. So the husband's going to be super, super busy. And I know for a fact that this new company is going to absolutely love my husband's work ethic and the job that he is going to do. And it's going to help this company put themselves on the map, not only in Nova Scotia, but in New Brunswick, and then hopefully expand out to PEI and God knows where else. So here's a huge congratulations to my husband. I am so, so proud of you. And I look forward to moving into this new journey with you. And I plan on sticking around a long time and taking care much better of myself so that we have many years ahead of us that we can enjoy. Anyways, I will be back next week. We'll talk to you later.